A 10% hike, guessed, not calculated, applied for the 4th year running. That's most AMC renewals in this industry. By the end of this video, you will be able to take any AMC renewals on your desk, break the price into the 5 parts and say out loud which of these parts you have actually costed and which ones you have been absorbing. Most owners quote a figure from memory, then lose money on it quietly for 3 years. That is what we are fixing here. Here is how the typical renewal happens. The contract is due. Somebody opens last year's file, sees the figure, adds 8 or 10% and sends it again. Nobody asks what the figure was built from in the last place. If the original number was a guess, you have now escalated a guess for the 4th year running with more confidence each time. The reason this survives is that AMC losses do not arrive as a loss. They arrive as a busy month, 2 extra callouts, a controller card you did not budget for, a technician on site for 3 hours instead of 1. Every one of those are invisible in your accounts because it sits inside a lump sum you already agreed. So we break the lump sum apart. Part 1 is labor, actually consumed inside a scheduled visit. Not the technician's salary divided by 12. The minutes on the left. Take one of your contract and time it honestly. Car top inspection, pit, machine room, doors, safety gear check, the paperwork. If your preventive visit takes 55 minutes on a simple passenger lift and 100 minutes on an MRL lift with 2-door operator, those are 2 different products and they cannot carry the same price. Part 2 is travel and dead time. And it is the part almost nobody quotes. A lift 12 kilometers away in dense city traffic can consume more of a technician's day traveling than working. 2 visits in same building are cheaper per lift than 2 visits in 2 buildings and your pricing should say so. If it does not, you are subsidizing your most scattered customers with your most convenient ones. Practical test on this. Take one technician, one full week, and count how many productive hours he is actually delivered against hours paid. Owners who do this for the first time usually find the ratio is worse than they assumed. Whatever that number is, it belongs in your visit cost. Part 3 is the one that turns a profitable contract into a bad one. What does that contract say you cover? Comprehensive, semi-comprehensive, and labor only are 3 completely different risks. And I still see them priced with 10% of each other. If you are on a comprehensive contract for a 15-year-old lift, you have written an insurance policy. You need to price it the way an insurer would. Expected replacement cost of the failure-prone items across the remaining life divided across the contract term. Door operators, contractor boards, brake coils, rope condition. On an older machine, that provision is not a rounding error. It is often the largest single line of the stock, and there is a stock problem sitting underneath it. The part you need frequently exists somewhere else in your business already, just not where the technician is standing. You buy it again at emergency pricing, and the second purchase never gets attributed to the contract that caused it. So the contract looks fine on paper while the money leaves through procurement. Part 4 is the strategy and contractual testing you are committed to. And this is where I want to be precise because the industry repeats the wrong things here constantly. BIS has withdrawn the IS 14665 series, and if your quote still cites IS 14665, it is citing a standard that no longer exists. The live standards are IS 17900, parts 1, 2 and 6, published in 2022. Based on ISO 8100 with Indian modifications, not an EN 8120. Half the tender documents I read quote EN 8120, and in India that is simply the wrong reference. Now the important qualification. There is no quality control order covering this. So IS 17900 is voluntary until the state act or your own contract adopts it. What is not voluntary is state law. Karnataka rule 12/4 of first edition require testing at least every 3 months. Maharashtra section 18 requires a maintenance contract with an approved contractor. Tamil Nadu's 1997 Act carries no such obligations at all. Read that again. Because it is the pricing point. The same lift, the same specification and the same customer expectation carries a different mandatory visit floor depending on which state it sits in. If your price in Bengaluru and Chennai are identically, one of those two numbers is definitely wrong. And the obligation you cannot escape is evidence. The rule is not the hard part. 2 years later, on a date somebody dispute that the test happened is the hard part. Part 5 is everything that is not technician and not the part. Dispatch. The person answering the phone, billing, the vehicle, the office, insurance, the cost of chasing your own money when the customer pays in 90 days. Add your target margin on top of the 4 parts above, not on top of competitor's number. The last habit is worth naming. Pricing against whatever the competitor quoted is not pricing at all. It is accepting their cost structure as a description of yours, and you do not know their cost structure. They may be running a fleet you do not have, or losing money and not knowing it yet. Do this on one contract this week. Pick your most awkward customer, the one where the technician signs when the job comes up. Break the price into 5 parts. Visit labor, travel and date time, spares provision, compliance obligation, overhead and margin. Then compare the total to what you are charging. You will find one of the two things. Either you are underpriced and now you have the evidence to raise it at renewal, or you are correctly priced and the problem is somewhere else in your operation. Both answers are useful. Guessing is definitely not. Comment which of the 5 parts you have never actually priced separately. I'm curious how common that is. Hi, I'm Sumeet Katariya, creator of ElevatorPlus. ElevatorPlus is elevator business operating system used by 200 plus elevator companies across 20 plus countries. The full cost breakdown with the step-by-step provision written out is at elevatorplus.app, or you can find the link in our description.